Hi, I'm Kim Ross. I'm a psychologist, a mum of three, and just a human being out there doing their best. Sometimes when I'm recording, for a podcast, I will stumble over some of my words, and I think one of the reasons is because I share a house with three adult children. So I might go for a couple of days without speaking to many people because they have their own things to do. So I would come on to talk to you and I'm like, let's speak adult. Yes, I speak to clients, but I don't see them every day. I don't have clients every day. So it might be, 3 days in a row with limited adult interaction. So forgive me if I stumble. I show up here to share with you things I really hope are going to help you with reflecting and taking action to make a difference in your own life. And today it's about speed networking. I know. A couple of weeks ago, I went to one for the first time and I had a ball. I thought it was a lot of fun and a few pointers for those of you who have never been to one might be thinking of one and might think, what on earth is it? Should I go? What do I do there? Is there a point? So yeah, let's tackle a few of those things today. So first of all, yes, there is a point, and the point is what you make it. All right, and that'll come through in a couple of the hints that I'm going to share. But the biggest thing that came out of it was you have the opportunity to talk about what you do in different ways over and over again in a short period of time. And it helps you go, oh, what am I having trouble articulating? What's coming out naturally? What's sounding natural to me? How is it being received by people I don't know? And so there's so much invaluable feedback in such a short period of time. Let's start with the logistics. There were 38 of us there. And yes, I got to talk to each one of those people. We had a minute each, 2 minutes in total, and then I think 30 seconds to shift between chairs. And some of these people I had met before, but really there were only a handful that I knew and knew what they did. And there was time to talk before to each other and not time to talk after, but it'll be really interesting the next meeting we have to see how many people are the same, what people remember, how the interactions vary. So having that opportunity to go over, what you do time and time again, it just shows how valuable it is to be able to articulate how and why your business is your passion, because that's what makes an impression. When I think about the people I spoke to, what stood out to me about them was how they felt about their job and about their business. It's a business networking event. It's about their business. And we hear that, we know that, when you talk about your business and your brand and you attract people because of your passion. And it's so true. I love listening to people talk about themselves, no matter what they do, if they're passionate about it. It's like, that's the magnet, the passion magnet. We're talking about niching and all those things. It's what's your passion? Because that's what's going to attract people to you. So that is the biggest takeaway. That's the difference it makes. So, so here are probably, 5 or 6 practical things to think about. Your business cards. You can do digital business cards at these events, but they're so quick. And if you've got a digital and someone's trying to, scan it, or you're going through that digital process, it actually takes time away from the minute you have. You might have, if you have a longer period of time at a networking event, like 3, probably anything over, 2 minutes, the digital makes a lot more sense. But I found having the digital slowed the process down and interfered with the process. And it was the old-fashioned, here's my details, let's chat. And this is a way we can, link in with each other afterwards. So having said that, actually, for those of you who are watching this on video, I can show you. If you're listening, that's okay. But the font on business cards makes a big difference. I'm showing you mine, and you can see the big font stands out. But if you look at the back, that's much harder to read. And I was given at least one card that I couldn't read because the font was too small. Yes, I'm over 50 and I wear glasses, but the font was too small and the contrast wasn't enough. So both those things were going against it. So it's important to think accessibility of promotional materials. So even though I'm over 50 and wear glasses, I'm still by no means legally blind or vision challenged. So yeah, that's important. So the font, your business cards. And LinkedIn with your passion is about the importance of differentiating yourself. Because it's a business networking event, there are more than one person involved in a particular industry. There's only me involved in mental health industry. But for example, accountants, financial people, mortgage brokers, IT people. When there's a few working in the industry, how are you going to stand out? And one of the ways that people stood out for me was when they were talking about specific clients they love to work with. So yes, I'm a mortgage broker, but what I love is helping people get in their first house. What I love is helping people who really can't get into the market, build up their, employment prospects to help them get that job. This is a real different type of service for a mortgage broker, different type of the market to be focusing on. And others would say, I like helping people get their investment properties. So where do you fit within your industry? So with the mental health industry, it's like, I love helping mums work together with their child to meet their goals. And whether that's people on NDIS or private fee paying or however it looks and whatever age it is, it's that parent and me and the child, the three of us working together, which I love. So that's something I share, and which leads to one of my other points is, who are you talking across from? And that's going to influence the message and the part of the business that you discuss. So because I wasn't working or networking with other people within the mental health industry, it wasn't appropriate or helpful really for me to say, oh, and I love working with mental health professionals on self-care. That didn't mean anything to the people in the room. So I focused on other aspects of my business that made sense to them. Working with micro business owners on fierce self-care, working with parents. Those things were things that other people were interested in. So how do you differentiate yourself? Another really practical thing is I got information from some people and didn't have their name on it. And it may have had a company name, but having their name on something, on what they gave me, would make that much more personal and make it more likely for me to follow up or to link them with the business. Because I'll talk about, what to do after the event later, but to follow up afterwards, I wanted a person's name, a direct contact to that person. Because this just wasn't, this was a very personal event. It was a very one-on-one situation. We weren't at a big stadium where we were handing out, general information to lots and lots of members of the public. These are people in a networking group where you would expect to have an ongoing relationship with. All right, so that's, I think, four things there. Two more little hints. One is the difference it makes whether you go first or second. Now, if you go first out of the pairing, you don't know anything about the other person. But if you go second, it helps tailor your pitch to them. Or you can pick up on something interesting they said and use that in your thread and, make that connection. So it's not about sitting there waiting for your turn. It's about, oh, what are they saying? How do we fit? What do we have in common? And what's our link here? What's our connection here? Because we're looking at, as I said, an ongoing business relationship. You really bring your active listening skills into the fore. So if you've got a choice, go second. All right. And if you've spoken with them beforehand while you're waiting and you've picked up on things, it doesn't matter so much if you go first, because you're already a bit tuned in to what they do and what sort of person they are. And the last thing I want to share with you is about just that benefit of practicing your pitch over and over again. So yes, you can tailor it. You can find out where the flat spots are. But with me, it was basically the second last person that I spoke with. And I've gone, oh, that sounds really good. My pitch, that is. I think I finally worked out how I want to say this. I didn't write it down, so I can't remember. So maybe that's another tip. If this happens to you and you've come up with a fantastic sentence, write it down. So there you go. That's a bit of a snapshot of some of the things to keep in mind when you go to a speed networking event. Accessibility of the information you provide, both on your business card and accessibility to you on any sort of promotional material. Where's your name? Photos are great. And then it just really helps link the person with the photo and just helps them remember who you are. Tap into the pleasure that your business brings you. What aspect of the business do you love? Differentiate yourself from those around you, even if it's only for one night. You don't have to walk out of there and use that difference elsewhere if it's not appropriate, but tailor it to what's going on for you. And active listening, all right? It's only a minute, but it's amazing how much you can listen and pick up in a minute of speed networking. So at the end, what do you do when it's all over? Do you just leave and that's it? No. Afterwards, you follow up. Then you can spend the time to link in with people, whether it's on, if it's on LinkedIn, if it's sending them an email, if you've made a specific connection. There were people after the event setting coffee dates before they left. I've set a coffee date for afterwards, after I emailed someone directly. You can send follow-up promotional material afterwards, but in a smart way, not in a spammy way. If you're so inclined, you can take notes and think, oh, okay, I want to follow up with that person. Next time I see them again, this is what I'd like to do. This is how I think I could help them. This is how we could help each other. There'll be lots and lots of gems come up. So don't just let it go. Follow up with it. Oh, there you go. That was a bit of a speed through on speed networking. I really hope you found it useful. It comes back to this self-care, because you're like, yeah, Kim, this is great. What's it got to do with my self-care? Oh, the basis of self-care is connection. And this is, the second layer of connection. First layer is you connecting with yourself, your mind, body, your needs, what you want, your connection. But then after that is your connection to others around you. And networking is one way you can do that. So this is connecting with other business owners. It might be that you go to an event where you're connecting with other people in the mental health industry, or you're connecting with other mums, or you're connecting with whatever your business is. Right? So this is a way to do that. And that provides self-care. It nourishes you. It's nourishing your passion. It's nourishing your job. It's enhancing the sustainability of you working enjoyably in your chosen industry, in your chosen career, in your chosen business. When you're happy at work, when you feel supported, and you've set that support up, you are less likely to burn out. Right? It's all tied in. If you're not feeling isolated because you've made connections with other people, then you're not bringing that isolation into your day-to-day operations. So I think I've spoken more about the importance of networking and how it fits in other podcasts. If not, more than happy to do an upcoming one on it. If you have any questions about this, let me know and I will include them. I am happy. I will create a podcast just for you on your self-care or networking question. How cool is that? All right. So if you're quick, if you get your questions in, I will make one. And there you go. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in. Hopefully you found this useful, because that is the aim, to be practical, helpful. All right, guys, until next time, you can catch me on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook, not a lot, a little bit, but where I'd love you to catch me most is in your inbox. If you want to subscribe for Fierce Self-Care and Connection Strategies, you can find the link in the notes. I will pop them in the podcast and the YouTube notes. Click on the link, come and join us, and tell me all about you. Send me a question. Okay, guys, until next time, bye.